All right, hello. Anyone is there? We're just doing some holiday baking prep chat today. So let me know if you are watching along and perhaps you're thinking about doing some baking for the upcoming holiday season. So I'm just prepping here my Christmas cake ingredients. So I'm going to try not to slice my fingers whilst doing this. But let me know if you are baking at all in the upcoming holiday season. Perhaps it's for Thanksgiving, perhaps it's for Christmas, Hanukkah, lots of different celebrations coming up and lots of different delicious food. So that is what I am prepping today. So do come and say hi, and lots going on. It's going to be a busy season, but yes, I am prepping today my Christmas cake recipe. So I'm just chopping up here some stem ginger, which smells absolutely amazing, and also some preserved cherries, so glacé cherries. Just chopping them up into chunks so that they're small enough to be in the bread, in the finished cake. So hi, if you're watching, I'm Rhiannon, and usually talking about bread making on here. So if you've got a bread making question as well, let me know. Just filming some content today and trying not to chop my fingers up as I chop up these bits for my Christmas cake. I'm just going to keep on chopping. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to put this down a little bit. There we go. It's a bit better. So prepping these ingredients. Let me know if you make Christmas cake as well at home. Could be one. And chopping these up really small. So what I'm going to be doing with these is popping them into soak, and I do use alcohol to soak these, but then I go, you could also use things like tea. So I'm just prepping my Christmas cake ingredients. So we're going to be talking about holiday baking chat. And if you're thinking about baking for the upcoming holidays, whatever you're celebrating in upcoming times, today I'm just prepping for my Christmas cake. So I do make one of these every year, and I'm just chopping up lots of dried fruit today, which I'm going to be steeping in alcohol. But I was just saying, you don't have to use alcohol. You can use things like tea, a really heavily flavoured tea, or you could use a juice like orange juice. If you're going to do that, I would suggest putting these soaked fruits in the fridge. I'll talk about that at the end. Right now, I'm trying not to chop my fingers off while having a chat with you. So let me know if you're ever baking during the holiday season. Is there a favourite bake that you make? Do you make things, depends where you are. Do you ever make mince pies? That's quite a British thing, I think. But if you know mince pies and you love them, perhaps you make them at home. Or do you make something perhaps a bit more like things like chocolate, Yule log, something like that, or things like stollen. So I'll be baking lots of stollen, which is like the enriched bread with the marzipan through the middle. You don't have to put the marzipan in. I know traditionally you should, but yeah, marzipan through the middle. I'll be making that. I'm also just been testing a recipe here, which is, I can see that beautiful kind of yellow dough. That's yellow because it has so much butter in it. That's a brioche dough. So hi, if you're watching, hi to you. Who is that? I think I've got Elliot. So that is a very yellow dough because it's got so much butter in it. There's half as much butter as there is flour in that. And so really, really enriched dough. I'm going to be leaving that to rise for a couple of hours now. So that's with my membership club at the weekend. Hi, thank you for joining me, Richa. It's lovely to have you along. Let me know if you have any bread making questions as well. Although I am talking about holiday baking today. So talking, this is what I'm making with my membership at the weekend. I have a monthly club. We get together, bake bread. Today or this week, making a chocolate chip brioche. So I will be adding chocolate chips into this, but that I'll be making with my members. Really delicious recipe for the festive season, and really nice one that you can make ahead, freeze well, and or make really delicious toast, French toast, beautiful kind of festive breakfast, something like that. So really nice one to do in the lead up to the holiday season. So I'm just letting that dough rise. I've just made that, and then, as I was saying, talking about holiday baking while I am chopping up all the necessary ingredients for my Christmas cake. I don't know if anyone makes Christmas cake. Sometimes I think it's a bit old school. Not a lot of people like to eat all the dried fruit, and also I think getting them all is can be quite hard and also quite expensive at this time of year. So let me know if there are any holiday bakes that you like to make. And also I'll be running at the end of this, towards the end of this month, later in November, a free Christmas baking planner series on my email list. And so that will be kind of tips and things to do with how to plan out your Christmas baking. So kind of ingredients and how to kind of go about, and like sourcing all your ingredients, and also some good recipes to use that you can make ahead, and recipes that you can kind of make ahead but also make in a few minutes, so nothing too onerous as well. So you can sign up to my newsletter as well, and you can find that in the description, or you can go to my website, which is theepsombakehouse.co.uk, and then you can sign up for my newsletter there, and then you'll be on the list for later this month, and I'll be talking about Christmas baking planning. So do check that out in the description. And as I said, I'm just chopping up ingredients for my Christmas cake recipe. So I'm going to be putting these in to steep in alcohol, but you could use, as I said, something like a strong flavoured tea, or something like juice as well, to leave them to soak and gets all that flavour in, lots of moisture. I mean, it's kind of 90% dried fruit at that stage. So yeah, lots of baking going on. So let me know if there is a favourite kind of festive bake that you make. Perhaps if you're, I know in the States with Thanksgiving as well, and with Christmas you have lots of kind of cookies as well, loads of different cookies to make. Let me know if you've got a favourite cookie that you like baking at this time of year. I see so many variants. It's not so much of a thing here to make cookies or biscuits, as we call, but I do like to make gingerbread and make gingerbread men. Kids love that as well. So enjoy that kind of baking. But yeah, my favourites would be the breads. Hi Patricia, it's lovely to have you along. And perhaps if there's a traditional bread where you are, let me know. I was mentioning the Stollen. I have a Stollen baking class coming up, so I'm really looking forward to that. That's a live online class as well, so I'll be making that. That is on sale now. So I'll be making a Stollen, and also have an online course to make panettone. So let me know if you've ever considered making panettone, which is like a traditional Italian bread. It's very light and fluffy, studied through with the dried fruit, and flavoured really delicately. Obviously you could also make that with chocolate chips as well, those different variations. And that is a great thing about making your own as well. I'm not Italian, I'm afraid, but let me know if you've ever made that as well. And so making those breads, and so making different ones. That is a good thing about making your own, because you can put kind of what you're putting in. It can be a flavour that you enjoy. So let me know. I'm just going to go and brush off my hands. So let me know if you've got any bread making questions. So I'm putting together ingredients for a traditional Christmas cake, which will be all dried fruits. So let me just start putting these in. So raisins, And then I'm going to put in some sultanas. Loads of dried fruit, several hundred grams. I mean, it's only a tiny amount of flour normally in a Christmas cake. Obviously, you could save this for later in November on Stir Up Sunday, although that is normally for Christmas pudding. Let me know if you ever make Christmas pudding. That is not something I've attempted, but if you ever make Christmas pudding, let me know. This is for my Christmas cake. So, all right. So let me know if there's any other Christmas bakes that you are making. So this is so there's loads of dried fruit going in there. I'm going to make a big cake. And then I'm going to put all of this in that I just chopped up. So I just chopped up some glacé, what we call glacé cherries. Those are cherries that are preserved in sugar syrup, and some stem ginger. So it tastes really, really delicious. And it will be, well, it smells delicious. Potentially, I don't know if you would eat that. It's going to be quite a strong flavour, but really preserved ginger and syrup that's going in. Quite sticky. And then some vanilla extract. And that in. So as I was saying, I'm going to be doing a challenge, or well, a free guide towards the end of the month for festive baking planning. So if you're interested in joining, you can sign up to my newsletter in the description of this and get more information on making Christmas bakes. So there'll be some things like suggested recipes, some timings, and putting the different ingredients together. So, and planning out your bakes. So I'm just putting some lemon zest into this as well. And let me know. So check that out there as well. And I was just talking as well about my membership with just making brioche, so really enriched dough, and that can be a really big thing at this time of year, putting lots of butter and sugars into your breads as well and make them really delicious. But it is a different way of baking them. So if you do sign up and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well while you're here, you'll see that there is a video on there about baking with enriched doughs. So it's a little bit of a different process. You have to have a few different approaches, especially in timing, because as soon as you put all that butter and sugar into a dough, with things like the stollen, things like brioche, then it takes a lot longer to rise because it kind of gets in the way of the yeast. So if you are making an enriched dough, then if you are making the enriched dough, then you put in the brioche, you put in all the butter, and then you'll need to take plenty of time for that dough to rise because the butter kind of gets in the way of the yeast doing their job. Right. Bit of lemon zest in there. And also some lemon juice coming up. Excellent. I'm sorry you can't all smell this being made. It's really delicious. So let me know if you are celebrating in the holidays, if you're baking anything for the holidays. Do you make different things where you are and baking them for your holiday season? I always like to learn about new ones as well and have a go at baking them. So let me know if there's a favourite one that you have in there. be asking what YouTubers ask, which says your favourite word. I'm not sure we need to. So just mixing together there all the dried fruit and ingredients for my Christmas cake. So this is going to get soaked now. Add the alcohol in and leave that for a good few days covered over to allow the fruit to soak before I make the rest of the recipe at the weekend. So a good time to do this time of year. And then you can get ahead with feeding your Christmas cake later on. In the UK we do have Stir Up Sunday, but that's normally for Christmas puddings. So now I'm just soaking all a little bit later, and then I'll be doing this at Christmas. All right, so the final bit is to put in alcohol. So I'm going to use brandy and ginger wine. Let me just see how much. So I am using alcohol, but if you didn't want to do that, then you can also soak, if you make a Christmas cake, you could, for example, soak the fruit in a flavoured tea. Really nice, and make it really strong, and soak it in that, and the fruit will absorb that and it will add a really beautiful flavour. Or you could soak it in a juice, for example, orange juice, and get the flavour in that way. That's in, not too much. All right, and that is it all added in, so give it a good mix. By the way, I was weighing out my liquids there. Probably not completely accurate, but usually in water, 1 milliliter of water weighs 1 gram. So it's just using scales. Right, that is overpoweringly strong now. A bit much for this time on a Tuesday afternoon. Cover it over, so you can see it's quite wet, but most of the moisture will disappear because it will get soaked into the fruit. So that is all going to soak now for my Christmas cake that I'll be making this weekend. So soaking that alcohol into the dried fruit makes it really moist, make sure your cake is really moist, and also helps obviously preserve your cake for when it is sitting there being fed potentially more alcohol before you have it at Christmas. So that is that ready to go. So that was one job of the kind of preparation for Christmas or festive baking or holiday baking. So if you are looking forward to more baking this holiday season, then do check out and sign up for my newsletter. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well. There'll be more information on here, but if you sign up to my newsletter, I'm going to have a free holiday baking planner, just some emails and information towards the end of this month that are coming out to help if you're interested in baking more this holiday season. And it's great to know kind of what kind of bakes you're looking forward to making. Perhaps you're getting started, or there's one that you always do. I'd love to hear about your different bakes. And lots of different baking going on, and I don't think we need that. And so let me know if there are any different bakes that you make, lots of different festive bakes coming out and holiday bakes. So that will be all coming out at the end of this month. All right, well, that was prepping for my festive bakes, and look forward to seeing more chats about festive baking. As I said, you can sign up for my newsletter and to get more information about bread baking at home. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today and chatting away about Christmas baking and holiday baking, and we'll speak again soon.